Welcome everybody to our first panel on from knowledge to commercialization. And first on stage, I would like to welcome Alexei, who is the director of the Aeronautics, Space Engineering and Transport of RTU.
Hi.
Do you want to? Hi, good to see you again. Shall we take a seat?
Yes, thank you.
Great. So, Alexei. Would you like to talk to us about RTU and specifically about the challenges of sharing knowledge that you're facing? All right, are people still interested in space?
Sure. As we saw cool pictures from Angelina, thank you. As you see, these pictures are truly romantic, and people are trying to work more in attractive and cool things like space, and we are trying to attract this attention from young generation, starting from schools, and RTU has also engineering high school, and this is a good one to get these attractive people to our space ecosystem. But we need to work hard on that, yes.
Yeah, it's usually a very difficult
we are getting more questions regarding that, so, wow, in Latvia you have space? What are you doing there? So we need to promote this also.
Yes, and would you say that research is an important aspect of someone who works in, has their studies at RTU? And do you have a specific focus area?
As I'm representing a separate institute, I should say that RTU has a lot of scientific directions, but I can say only a few words about aeronautics, space engineering, and some transfer directions. So we are continuing our, let me say, traditions from previous institutes, and we established space engineering only last year. This direction, it's very important to work also on new studies, new study courses, and new projects. Why? Because their young generation and our scientists could implement these research works and to get more experience from international partners. As you see, we have a small country, but we are ambitious. We are working on that, yes.
That sounds amazing. Thank you so much. And I would like to welcome our next speaker to the stage, Anton. So Anton, welcome. I don't know. Welcome on stage. So Anton is one of the managing directors of the commercialization reactor. We all know each other, so if you want to take a seat and tell me, when you at commercialization reactor, you deal with both researchers and entrepreneurs, right? My question to you is, why does commercialization reactor focus on matching entrepreneurs and scientists? And is knowledge really not enough to succeed?
That's a very good question and a very tricky one. And the answer starts, I believe, in the name of the panel, from knowledge to commercialization, that there's actually a journey that requires specific set of skills, specific type of perseverance, and specific nature of talent. We are pretty different as we're different people. Different people have different natures. Somebody likes one thing, somebody likes fishing, music, etc. So do we find ourselves in terms of our professional activities. Scientists, business people, etc. Those are also, let's say, triggers of your internal nature that make you do one thing and not do another thing. And in knowledge, whether knowledge is enough to succeed depends how you measure success. Science is about creation of new knowledge, but commercialization is about transforming this knowledge into goods for sale, products or service, and it requires, let's say, different, so to say, muscle group to bring science to become a business. This is why we focus exclusively with our philosophy on matching natures of scientific-minded people and entrepreneurial-minded people. So when we combine them, each can play to their strengths. And because this is also a delayed reward, high pressure, high performance environment, you need to, that takes more than 3 weeks to prototype, more than 6 months, a couple of years, sometimes even more than just a few years. You don't want to feel miserable on this journey, right? So you need to comply with your nature. And that's a very important aspect to really dive into. So I hope I answered the question.
Yes, you did. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So I'm actually really excited to see both applicants from RTU, future students that become entrepreneurs, and of course, companies that come from commercialization reactor into our own ESA structure. And I would like to welcome Luca Del Monte again. He's my boss, my amazing boss, to tell about ESA. Would you like to sit down, Luca? And while we're at it, we've heard about research and knowledge, but specifically, what are the challenges of turning space research into commercial ventures? Because you deal with commercial ventures every day.
Absolutely. I mean, this is one of the main challenges that we are facing in Europe in this moment. And I think that Anton and Alexei have already provided some of the ingredients that we need in this. The first one, just to recap, is we are talking about people. Number one thing, we are talking about people here. Or as now it is very, very à la mode to say talents. We are talking about talents, and here there is a war on talents that is ongoing. I mean, we have a huge difficulties in attracting the best and brightest mind to STEM first, so first STEM, and then when they are in STEM, from STEM to space. So, and then we have to retain these guys in our domain. So that's the first, and I think that Alexei knows this very well, because this is one of the first challenges that they have. Then we have the second step. I mean, we have brilliant engineers, and as Anton was saying, this is one important skill to be, of course, to invent something. But then you have to innovate. And this is a completely different game, because you have to match this knowledge with the business game. So I think that first thing is creation of an ecosystem around universities. The second one is to move these brilliant engineers that comes out from our engineering school to a business incubation center. And even before now, there is a step that is coming, and I think that Anton and also Nikolai are doing this. Is the venture builder. I mean, let's really analyze step by step. You have a brilliant engineer, which has a scientific mindset with a very good ideas. Maybe has no ideas whatsoever about business, he has never thought about commercializing these things. So the first, you have to create a company around it. You have to associate him with marketing, with business, and then you have to incubate this company. And then once it is incubated, you have to accelerate this. Acceleration is a nuance of incubation that is basically focusing on certain specific areas. Can be strategy, can be export, can be human resources. I mean, these type of things that are needed. And once everything is done, or once in parallel to that, you have to bring capital supply in. So you have to expose these guys to private investors, private capital, at each stage. Because, I mean, today, as I was saying in my introductory speech, I must say, okay, we can improve, of course, always there is room for improvement, but we have done already a good job in terms of venture capital in Europe for space. I would say that we can improve, but we have all that is needed in terms of seeds, pre-seeds, round A. The big issue today is the growth phase, is what's happening afterwards. I mean, we have taken on our shoulders all the burden of paying for these engineers to become an engineer, incubating, accelerating, and then with what is considered to be a round A in the US, private capital firms in the US comes over and take it over, take all the benefits of it. Today we have, I read a recent report by the Commission on that 80% of the companies incubated or created in Europe, deep tech, eventually moves their headquarters to the US. 80% is an incredible figure. I mean, you should be scared by this figure only today. If there is one figure that you have to remind, it's this one. What does it mean? It means that we don't have private equities, we don't have, let's say, private capitals that are ready to take risk. But, and here I conclude my very too long maybe reply to this question. Investor guys in Europe are not, please, keep this also in mind, are not different from private investors elsewhere in the world. These guys all think alongside the same wavelength. I mean, follow the money, and the money follows the customers. Now, if you don't have customers, you will not have private investment. That's clear. And this is the big fight. Space is well, we hope that it will become a big space economy, but it's still relatively small. So it is growing, a fast growth rate, but it's still small. So we have to help this company to scale up on the market by offering them opportunities in terms of the demand aggregation, anchor tenancy from the European institution. We have to help them getting more traction on the market, getting customers, real customers.
And that is exactly my next question for you. How does ESA actually do that? And the European companies that are in this room today, what can they expect from ESA? How can we help them?
Yeah, thanks. That's a good point, because ESA is very well known as an R&D procurement agency. So it's a technical agency. We have an extremely high reputation in terms of engineering. And I'm sure that all of you are familiar with deep tech. You know what TRL means, technology readiness level. You know that there is the valley of death between the TRL 4 and 6, where a lot of engineers, scientists who aims to become entrepreneurs fails and dies, the valley of death. So it's a TRL, technology-related death valley. Today, and ESA is very well known to help companies how to try to survive, to mitigate the risk. They are providing a lot of technical support with something that we call R&D procurement contracts with a lot of know-how. Outside ESA, they are known as grant. Okay? We
do not call them
It's a forbidden word at ESA, so it's the G word. But it's true, they are grant, and we help them by providing money and technical assistance. First valley of death. But there is a second valley of death that is unfortunately less known, and is the valley of death that is the scale up. That is, I mean, the companies that comes out, we have a survival rate of our big company, the companies that are out of our bigs 5 years after the amazingly high. 88% of them, 5 years after they are out of the big, are still alive. Is it a good news? I don't think so, honestly. I don't think so at all. Because it means that we are super conservative when we select companies. We should dare more. We should take more risk. We should see this rate fall and with a lot of failures, because this means that actually we are taking risk. And the fact is that not only they are still alive, but they don't scale up. They are still small. And so they still rely and depend on more and more grants, which are not real customers. We are a fake customer. And so we have this second valley of death that we need to help them with. And this is done through a tool, for instance, that we have deployed now at ESA. It's called the Marketplace. And this tool is helping these companies, not everyone, those who are mature, those who start to have an initial traction on the market, those who are exploring new emerging markets, to get new customers everywhere in the world, not just in Europe. Let's be clear, Europe is a tiny market for space. This is a global market, so we have to help these companies going global. So with the marketplace, we help these companies, we really help financially, I mean, these companies to get more customers. We connect with these customers. And we also help these companies to go on export markets. And this we are doing, you know, with a number of competitions. Now we have also signed agreements with countries like India, UAE, Singapore, Japan, very soon also with Australia. So you guys, if you have companies and you want to scale up international markets in these countries, don't hesitate to contact this lady, because she will give all the details, I mean, about how you can go there and be supported by us in that respect.
Thank you so much, Luca. Our next speaker is Alessandro Caranci, sorry, and he is the Senior Vice President of Satellite Telecommunications at Telespazio SPA. Welcome to the stage, Alessandro.
Thank you.
Great to have you.
Where is
whichever you prefer, I think.
I go here. Okay.
Might be good.
Italian corner.
Great. So in terms of your background, I believe you've had already a huge amount of building partnerships and a lot of insights into what the real market is. And specifically for this panel, when you were creating commercial partnerships in the space sector, what are your lessons learned on that front?
Okay, let me start saying that I work for a company that is currently one of the world leader in terms of satellite services. But this company was founded in 1961. So we are nowadays, de facto, we are the oldest satellite service provider of the world. So it means that we have passed through 65 years of history, and it's clear that space changed a lot. We needed to change a lot, and to change, we always leverage on a set of partners. You cannot have everything in your house, and so we consider partnerships a vital process in our life. For us, partnerships can be with governments, with space agencies, with many stakeholders, including commercial partnerships. I'm leading the satellite communication that is really downstream, so I face customers, business and government, defense included. And in this field, our work is to provide services to end users, trying to give them what they want. I mean, I've never listened to a customer asking for a satellite service. They want to have a communication service. So basically, how we build our services, we partner with telcos for some terrestrial networks, with satellite operators, buying raw bandwidth and managed services from also the LEO operators, Starlink, for instance, OneWeb, or all the others. We integrate this service, and we provide a solution to our customer that is what we believe is the one that increases at the highest level the perceived quality of what we provide. That includes also the cost effectiveness of what we provide, because at the end, the customers, they have their budget, they want to spend less and less. So the creation of partnership, first of all, it's clear that our product is the result of the chain of partners we have selected. So one important point is to know the partners we have, to understand exactly what they can provide to us. The second part is that we put the design on top, and so basically we have to create something that is better than the sum of the elements we have received. I like to say that we are like a restaurant that creates recipes from ingredients, but at the end, the dish on the table has to be better than the single ingredients. But if the dish is good, it is because the ingredients are good. There are some challenges you mentioned. We are living in an era where all the players want to play all the roles. So sometimes for us, we compete with our partners. There is a way of managing this, in my opinion, yes, is to show that we are value added. So when we have a competition with a supplier of ours, the judge is the customer. If the customer gives the idea that from us they can have a better solution, at the end, the supplier competitor come back to become supplier. If not, we will lose the customer. That's the reality.
Thank you. And do you have any personal insights from your journey that you would like to share with aspiring entrepreneurs?
Okay, let me make a couple of considerations. The first is that we need to consider that the space market evolves continuously. And the second part is that a lot of times, the time to market for an idea in the space market requires time to become a reality. So the first advice is to try to understand how the world will be in the moment that you will be on the market. Not to try to be a winning solution for today if you will come tomorrow. The second, it's clear, is to meet the time to market. It means to find the right funds, to win the technological challenges, because any delay can destroy the business plan of an entrepreneur. Last but not least, because this is a bias that in our ecosystem is often present, we are an ecosystem that is in love with technology and in love with space. To be frank, I'm much less in this direction, because for me it's very difficult to explain to a customer that my technology is fantastic if he doesn't have the feeling of depth. So if someone wants to enter as an entrepreneur in the space, needs to start from the customer experience. Everything needs to start from that. Do not love too much technology. Do not love too much the ideas, but try to test on the field exactly if what they are going to bring on the market is valuable or not.
I think that's a very valuable insight. Thank you so much. And now, to all of the panelists, I have a few questions. We've all, from the space sector, have been asked the question, what are the challenges? And we all always have responded, the long lead times and the high upfront investments. But if you focus on the positive aspects, what strengths do you think European companies have to conquer the international space market?
I will start. I see that.
Yes, please.
I think that the European ecosystem is strong. At the end, there is a consciousness of the importance of the space, the highest level now. So governments are increasing budget. The space agencies are really strong. The industry is good, university is good, and so on. And it's clear that one of the points will be to make a system, but I think this is not the most important part. Then once we have a system, we have to be focused toward the target. The target, in my opinion, has to be driven by innovation, to do something that will change, that is not now existing, something new, pushing on that, less to protect the status quo. So Europe sometimes is seen like an old-styled word, and we have seen that US. In US, we have seen that new players have changed completely the landscape with new rules, changing the rules. The launcher comes back. Okay? Broadband system, what is, in my opinion, the most important part of Starlink? It's a project that is conceived around the user terminal. It's not, I do a space that someone will build the terminal in the second stage. So basically, the rules have been challenged, and then there were the funds and many other things that are necessary. But basically, start from innovation.
Maybe I just would like also to add that we can differentiate also, let's say, what can established companies like Telespazio, Thales, Airbus can do, and what are the challenges also faced by smaller one, the new entrants, because they are relatively different. I would like to remind that European industry is quite successful on the export market, and just to mention one, Thales is basically selling in the US the pressurized module for the space stations of today and of tomorrow. So we are world leader. I mean, Swiss companies like Beyond Gravity is selling and manufacturing pieces of OneWeb and fairings of rockets in the US. So the point is that in many cases, when you go on the export market, you cannot go exclusively with the logic of selling. It can work, it doesn't always work. I mean, in many cases, the logic is capability development, is partnering. And this is why, and this is important especially for the second category, let's say the new entrants. What we are now seeing is that these smaller players, new entrants, are trying to establish joint ventures with similar size type of actors in other markets and in other countries, in countries outside Europe. And I'm giving you really some concrete examples of now some new emerging partners that we have in Europe, which is Japan, which is India, which are not the traditional US partners. So we are a little bit reassessing also this geometry at international level. And we see European companies more and more looking at Japanese partners or Indian partners, Singaporean partners, to go where? To go in Africa and to go to Latin America, which are markets totally dominated by China in this moment. So, I mean, it's an interesting dynamic that is popping up, and it's maybe the opportunity that is stemming from the geopolitical crisis that we are living in these days. Who knows?
I had so many other questions, but I think we're running out of time. So if you could summarize in one sentence, how do you enable companies to know what's happening on the market, and how do you ensure that we are supporting future commercialization needs? In one sentence. I know it's complicated. Maybe Luca, you want to start?
I start by giving you the ball. By giving you the ball, contact this lady. I said it again. I mean, that's the single recommendation I give you today. I mean, it's difficult to get the support of institutions. We are all aware. This is the #1 difficulties and challenge that you have always reporting. Oh, it's so complex, ESA, the European Union, so many fragmented effort. Today, you have an ESA BIC and an ESA country manager here in Latvia. Do not hesitate to contact them. They will open up a full universe of support.
Thank you. Guys?
Yes, I want to finish with a business formula as we're talking about this development. Just talk, communicate, collaborate, and commit on different topics. That is why we're here today.
Thank you, Alexei.
I would say that Europe is remarkable of having the legacy of, let's say, good university culture, good academic culture. Europe takes the academic game seriously. We have universities for hundreds of years, but the point I'm trying to make is it is very important indeed to collaborate between academic sector, industrial sector, private sector. So venture building initiatives being born exactly for this purpose and being dependent actually on the performance of the spin-outs and on the partnerships with academia. So it is, and here I would like also to leave a cliffhanger because there's a third value of death I see the ecosystem building a valley of death, and we are in quite a new ecosystem, which is deep tech, which is democratization of venture building, actually. So creating new ventures becomes more accessible, and whether we're going to succeed depends on whether we're going to play to our strengths and find synergies rather than increasing friction. So that's what I wanted to state.
Thank you. So to sum up, as we have run out of time, the keys to success is know your market, have the right tools to support you at the right moment, create partnerships, focus on your talents and people, and don't forget your customer. Your customers is at the heart of it. Thank you so much, everybody.
Brava.
Thank you, panel members. Thank you.